ignored when we speak. A lot of us don't know how to even communicate when we speak. And a lot of also, too, we're canceled when we stand up for what we believe in.
Cancel culture.
This morning was a little rough. I saw Mr. Nick Cannon lose a lot of his endorsements and get canceled, things like that, because he decided to speak his truth. So I just want to start off by saying, the views of today is solely independent views. They're not the views of Edge Radio Network. And also, let's just get into this.
Jump in there,
it's
girl.
Just nonsense.
Hopscotch. Jump in. It's showtime.
So how many of us are facing or feel misunderstood when we're speaking? I've been faced with a lot of different situations. Recently, we should just say that about there's the way that we interpret things are totally wrong, and people are focusing on the word versus the message. People are also focusing on how they feel versus the bigger picture. And it's just to where, okay, are we mature enough now to say, okay, you know what, that was a misunderstanding. How do we get better? Or am I even willing to say, you know what, I value this person, so I want to make this right. Let me see their views. Let me see their A side, and I may be on the B side. That's not going on. And Stacey, why do you think that's going on?
I think that I blame political correctness right now. People cannot feel uncomfortable saying how they truly feel because they don't want to hurt your feelings. And in doing that, you kind of mess up. You don't get the message out. What you're trying to say, you're not even able to say it because you're so busy trying not to hurt you. I don't want you to take this wrong. Let me take it wrong. Yeah. I'll take it wrong, and you and say your piece, and then we'll come back and address where I feel you wronged me at. Yes. But let me get that out. And people are so afraid. And I think that you have to do it on an individual basis. You can't try to use, say something corporately and expect everyone to get your message. You have to talk to individuals one-on-one and make sure they understand what your message is. Not let your emotions misconstrue everything, the way you said it. You delivered it wrong. I didn't hear nothing after you said you. What you mean by me? All that kind of stuff. So it's like, listen for the message. And that might need to be a hashtag because people have gone deaf. You know how they say you go nose blind when you're in a funky situation, you don't know your house stinks because you've been in there too long. Yeah. That's what we're in. We're in like a deaf blind, like you're deaf. You can't hear nothing because you get too caught up in, you said this, you said use, like what you mean, or she or he or whatever you feel is like you attacked me personally. It's like, it's not about you right now. We hear the message.
Everything is not a personal attack.
I know, but that's where we are. How do we get more sensitive? I don't get it.
Honestly, I think if you can become more sensitive. It's a maturity. It's a mature factor. See, we're forgetting that people walked into certain chapters in our lives.
Yes, seasons.
And seasons as well. You have to understand why the people are here. Maybe your nice little guardian angel said, I'm going to put this person in your life to elevate you and advance you. And it seems as though that we are so busy focusing on, this person is trying to check me or correct me, versus to look at it as they're actually upgrading me. They want me to be better. Nobody wants to be better. It just seems as though everybody wants to be in the rut. And that's what I said, and what I personally feel is, because this show is not going to be ha ha ha, funny, everybody may not take it seriously, or you may not necessarily want to watch it in its entirety. But this is stuff that's going on in your household. You can't ignore what's going on in your household.
You shouldn't. Because people do.
But everybody got an opinion about what's going on outside.
They're just talking amongst themselves.
Talking about drama and not how to fix it.
Not at all.
Instead of saying, okay, well, girl, my man cheated on me. You on the phone like, oh yeah, for real? So should we stab him up or should we da-da-da? Why don't we sit there and take the time out to figure out why all of this happened? Let's talk about this word entanglement real quick. That's been a word all week. So let's just talk about this real quick. Okay? First of all, shout out to the power couple. Because, for real. It may not look like powerly because of the word or whatever, but he didn't let her go through that alone. And that's what everybody is truly missing. Everybody everybody is going through their personal drama, whether you getting beat on mentally, physically, emotionally abused, whether you doing the cheating or you being cheated on. Everybody got some type of drama. Half of y'all don't get along with your man's mama and vice versa and all that other stuff. But versus you try to fix that, you still carrying on with this person despite what everybody else is telling you, like, nah, we looking out from the outside looking in, and that's not right. So people mention like, okay, yeah, she slept with the son friend or whatever. Scratch all that. She said, yo, I'm hurt. I was hurt, so this is why I did it. Okay, so now look at how many people that are hurt. Communication. This is why I made this topic about communicating. Had she came to Will, and I'm saying that she didn't, and this is for anybody. If you spend time and take your time to get to know your partner, not compare your partner to who you had before, if you look at them like a fresh book that you've never seen before, you will try to understand them, not your experiences that they know nothing about. They wasn't a part of that.
Some people don't like to read books. They don't even want to look at the movie, and therefore you looking for a certain part in the movie that you like in your personal relationship, and that's not good. That's not how you do it. And people, like you said, come with a clean slate, but people have to learn how to communicate. I don't see how you was hurt so bad and you weren't able to communicate that to your husband
to the 20-something years,
right? Until to the point where you cheated. Like, I can't imagine y'all can't communicate. Like, he's funny. I would think you should be. He was funny in the explanation.
I know why he did it, and that's like I know why he cheated. See, nobody wants to know.
They're open though.
Why?
They're open though, and
But why are we hurting each other? Why? Because we hurt. Why? Because you never talk to that person that hurt you to say, look, this hurt me.
Communication.
You know how many times I said to somebody, listen, this hurt my feelings, and they be like, oh, I ain't hurt your feelings. Are you serious?
Why you telling me?
Tell me that you didn't hurt my feelings.
Why you telling me? They say that.
Oh, why you
what that got to do with me?
A lot. See, a man can't come and talk to me, because if you come and talk to me and you be like, if I say, okay, I got a man, and you be like, what that got to do with me?
Yes, that was a song.
It's gonna have a lot to do with you when he bust you upside your head.
I hope he bust you upside your head.
Because you ain't had no respect.
Exactly.
Yeah, respect. Yes, Will might be funny and ha and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, is she comfortable enough? All of this has to do with comfortability. Communication and comfortability goes a long way.
I'm just so confused. I didn't watch it. I ain't gonna lie. I seen a little clips and stuff because Facebook definitely did that. All the memes were hilarious. But at the same time, I was just like, I'm sorry, in my relationship, if I'm uncomfortable, even though I'm uncomfortable, I'm going to talk about what I'm uncomfortable about and see how we can rectify that situation. It's uncomfortable, but on the other side of that discomfort is a breakthrough that will pull you closer together. And I can't imagine them being together so long that did not never happen. You never talk, like y'all were able to talk enough to have an open relationship. So why you can't say, look, you're hurting me, or I need this, I need that? I don't understand. Where was the miscommunication?
Because it's easier to talk about other people's problems than your own. And that's what the true state is. Like I said, everybody got an opinion about them.
Yes.
But you was just in an entanglement yesterday. Some of y'all entanglement babies. How do you even, so what do you have to say to your parents about that?
You can't say nothing to them.
Why you can't say nothing?
Because you can't rectify yesterday. But what you can do is fix your tomorrow. Be better. Look at it and be like, mom, dad, y'all was in an entanglement. New word. Y'all was in, let me tell you what the definition is. So mama was hot, cheated, and blah, blah, blah. And here I am, but dad stuck around because y'all was married or whatever. It's an uncomfortable situation. What happened? They might not tell you what happened. They might not even know what happened because no communication there. But you know you don't like that, so make it better for yourself. Make sure you open up communication lines in your own relationship, because you can't fix the
chat is going in. They said self-awareness. We have to be true to ourselves to first communicate. Shout out to Rim Rocks. Mr. Anthony said monogamy is almost non-existent these days. He said entanglement, babies, vulnerability. Yes, all of it, guys. If you have any comments, concerns, complaints, or you want to chime in, you guys feel free to always call in. The number is 281. What the heck is the number? I don't even know.
Oh, Lord. 281 something. We gonna get it. We gonna figure
that out. Yes. Lord knows. But no, seriously, it's wait, I got it. 2 seconds.
She got it.
I got a lot on my heart and my mind today. 281-587-1540. 281-587-1540. Now, back to the conversation about it, because people think, okay, yeah, you cheat, and what doesn't come out in the light, it still happened in the dark.
Yes.
So just because your mate doesn't know, you and the other person you did it with know, which causes further embarrassment. And actually, you should be embarrassed of yourself. See, this is not about this particular power couple, so I really would like everybody to open up your minds and put this into your life, because again, a lot of us are dealing with that. Even if you're not dealing with it currently, you've heard about your father cheating on your mother back in the day, or vice versa. So this actually hits home for everybody.
Everybody. It
doesn't matter how much money you have, anything like that. Hurt people will hurt people and continue to hurt people. It takes a strong individual to say, you know what? I don't want to repeat anything that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So let me figure this out. First of all, let me figure out what all my malfunctions is. Let me be vulnerable enough to tell my spouse, hey, this was going on. My toenail longer than this one, or my left breast bigger than that one. I don't know. But you have to be able to get down into those deep conversations.
Get over yourself.
Completely, to have a longevity relationship.
Yeah, you do. You really have to come just open, let go of, because I know a lot of people in relationships come with baggage from yesterday, or come with their own perceived thoughts of themselves, no matter how negative they are, and bring it into the relationship. Because I know I've done that too, and like, I don't like how I look, or I think this isn't matching, or I'm financially, I'm not well where I should be, and I assume that because of those things that I feel about myself, that anybody I deal with notices the same thing, and they're not going to want to deal with me because of that. And it's like, no, you don't want to deal with you because of that.
Yeah.
But they don't notice that until you express it. And once you free yourself from those bondage thoughts, negative thoughts that someone else put on you, or the world put on you, you're not doing well enough. How old are you? You should have a house, a car. You should, everybody's on TV exercising and stuff, and you think, I'm too fat, I can't, whatever your thoughts are, I'm too light skinned, I'm too dark skinned, whatever. Those are bondages that you have attributed to, put onto yourself, and then you deal with somebody else and you assume they feel the same way, and then when they're trying to love on you despite those things, you think it's fake, and you put up a wall and you block it, like nah, type of thing. And I mean, we have to really come empty, clean of all those past bondages. Just come open and free, and let whoever you're trying to be with, y'all grow and flourish and just love each other. Stop bringing up stuff to the sometimes you do have to express it and have a conversation about it, but don't be in bondage to it.
Well, a lot of us are always going to be in bondages, because this is not solely just about a relationship between man and woman. This is also about friends. How many times? Everybody. Again, we got to figure out the matrix that we're really in and step out of it, because the things that we listen to, it tells us, oh, no new friends. Well, if your old friends is toxic, you need to go get some new ones, because you can't say, okay, I'm not going to have no friends, because you're going to suffer so much in this world. And you mentioned too about houses and mortgages and things like that. Communication goes a long way in that sense too. Everybody tells you, go out and get a house, but do they tell you how to maintain it and keep it? Do they tell you how you're supposed to maintain and keep a relationship? Oh yeah, go out and get a boyfriend, go out and have a baby. But then when your baby is taken by DIFUS because nobody told you the rules and regulations, that if you leave this baby in the car like a puppy, your tail going to jail. Nobody told you that other part. Same thing as if you're going to get a car. Hey, I'm 17, I got my license, I'm going to get me a car, whoop-de-whoop. But they didn't tell you that when the car broke, you still have to pay that insurance, that car note, and for it to get fixed. Tell the complete story. Tell the complete story of, this I was hurt this time, this is what I need to get over this, instead of having people trying to figure it out.
I just don't. The one thing I will say, common sense is not so common.
It ain't.
And we definitely need a play-by-play on how to upkeep what you receive, what you get, what you go out to get. Because you're right, all you see portrayed in society, even in your household, families or whatever, is get those things you just stated. You need a car, you need a house. Ooh, when you gonna have a baby? People say that, and then it's like the baby come and I need to go to work. Can you watch the baby? Girl, that's your responsibility.
You heard about the young lady that wound up going to jail, or she was facing like 7 days or 9 days in jail because she had a baby, she tried to find a job, and nobody was available to watch the baby. So she said, okay, look, I'm going to go inside this job interview for maybe a half an hour, leave my baby in the car.
Oh, my God.
Somebody found out that she did this, and they called the cops on her. So while she was in court, she's like, listen, I tried every avenue. The only thing I didn't do was bring my baby inside the interview, because I knew that they wasn't going to hire me if I brought my baby inside. And that's why I say it takes a village.
It does.
It takes a complete village. This is beyond communication. If you're not willing to uplift somebody, what is your purpose? I look at Facebook a lot, and I was actually devastated this past week because it made me realize that if I don't post anything on Facebook, nobody would know if I'm dead or alive.
Facts.
That is horrible. I don't come from that. I'm sorry. I am a non-2000 baby. So I don't believe that social media is the way to communicate. I'm sorry. Call my phone. Because just like you went and pressed the app to get to whatever you saw, you could have just himdy cricket one little button, called me, sent me a text.
People don't do that no more. They do not do
communication will fail in all ways, which means that now we're creating a new generational curse for our kids.
Absolutely.
Because we don't even know how to communicate now.
No.
See, when I was 17, 18, we pulled up on people. We was on the phone, chittity chatting all 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
If you meet a guy nowadays, he gonna send you a text. He don't even want to talk to you till 3 o'clock in the morning.
Of a certain kind.
Facts. It's like, how do I get to know you? How are we supposed to be boo loving on the phone without you asking me for some type of picture or a Netflix and chill?
Is that the new let me get to know you? Just those kind of pics? Like, are you judging me from off of these? I never got a pic, but I heard about them.
So I don't get them type of pictures. Don't send me that, please, because I'm not interested. Because not for nothing, half of it is probably infested. We'll put it like that.
And it's Photoshop.
Filtered. Just like y'all communication.
Yes.
Filtered.
Yes. Not real at all. Faulty and fake.
If we don't have communication, the connection is going to be completely gone. And that's why it's so easy to get into entanglements today.
Yes.
Because you're not plugged in. You're not in it to where, listen, let me communicate with this person so I know how they feel and I understand why they do certain things.
I think that comes with good friends, like you were saying. Like, if your friend isn't uplifting you, if you don't got an accountability partner, and that's what your friends should be, accountability partners. But you know what, so many people are moving away from spirituality. They don't even know about these different types of friends that have accountability partner is the one who tells you to leave, don't go there, don't call that person, don't entertain that energy, you know what I'm saying? And people are just going off the cuff. They just moving in the right now, you know what I'm saying?
What do you do if you're the accountability partner for everyone else, but you don't have an accountability partner?
Well, you have to reflect on your own stuff. I have friends who are so smart with giving out giving out advice, but they don't take their own advice. I'm like, do you talk to you? Because when you talk to me, you be on point. Like, and that's true. So what you just asked is facts, and I don't know how you go about that. I really don't.
So I'm going to share my experience and get very transparent because this will hopefully help somebody. I was so hurt and so devastated about how many people that I pour into, whether I speak to you verbally, email, Facebook you DMing, whatever it is, because I try to really stay connected to a lot of people. It devastated me that when I go through whatever I possibly go through in life, the people that are there for me. So that's why I said, if you don't put something on Facebook, nobody knows if you dead or alive.
They don't.
I know someone right now that is terminally ill and it's not on Facebook. It feels so very alone because unless this person posts, hey, I don't feel good, or hey, whatever, we don't hear from people anymore.
Yeah, it's facts. You are saying, what you're saying is absolute truth. And how do we fix that? Was this orchestrated? Are we falling in? And it was. And are we falling into the trap of it? What do we teach our kids? What do we tell them? You know what I'm saying? Because I have friends and family that still stay connected, which is dope. But me, myself, I don't stay connected. And the only way I use is this medium, you know, to stay connected. And like, I don't see none of my family, but I'm like, post pictures of your kids. So I can yeah.
You was programmed to tell all your friends, oh, if you post all your life on social media, then we'll all still know what's going on.
That's it.
No, that's not the case. And we're not doing that.
It shouldn't be.
It should not be. We should be able to be picking up the phone and saying, hey, are you okay?
I don't even know their phone numbers. How many phone numbers you know?
Okay, I know 2. And that's bad. But I learned my lesson when I lost my phone in Cuba. Again, how many people wasn't in my corner. I feel so sorry for the future generations because you don't even know the art of what's lost. All you know is a text and a swipe and the fact that nobody really holds on to you anymore.
Oh, that's hurtful. Yeah, that's bad.
Everybody is so quick to fall back. Oh, you know what? I ain't talking to them. I fall back. I'm gonna fall back.
We don't agree.
So you can't agree to disagree. So you throw away the whole person.
You said so much issues that need to be handled. Like, so I think there's gonna, you know how they got a trap museum? There's gonna be a museum about like phones from back in the day, how people used to come together.
It should be a damn museum about good relationships.
Oh,
that's what it
that might be in there.
And I don't mean just, again, men and women. I mean anything that's a relationship, friendship, brother and sister relationship, mother and daughter relationship, any type of relationship. Because if you value the relationship, why are you not acting like you value the relationship until the person is already dead and gone? They say give people their flowers while they're here. But nobody's giving people their flowers while they're here.
That museum has to be in the house.
Girl.
Everybody has to, you have to teach yourself. You have to talk to Big Mama before she leave.
You should.
You should.
You should want to.
Because you can't talk to Mama, because unfortunately Mama and Daddy are victims of the same issue, the curses. So you got to talk to Big Mama and Big Dad. You know what I'm saying? And you know the world ain't going to encourage that, because they love divisiveness. You know, they got to divide you, divide and conquer. And it works. And people still don't even know. I mean, it's so evident today. And people still divide it. You know, choose to be divided.
You're choosing to be divided.
You're choosing to divide yourself, because I don't like what they said. I don't like how they looked. I don't like how much money they making, because they know they're not better than me. But they ain't telling me how to raise up and get that kind of money. How they a hater. And it's all this ignorant stuff. But you hit so many different generational curses that need to be figured out. And I don't know, girl, look.
Just because you over 18 don't make you grown. Just because you're 21 don't make you grown.
Just because you're 50 don't make you grown. You just old.
Yeah. Make you grown. You know how many people that I've called and before I hit this button, I'm like, I ain't talk to you, and I don't even think I need to talk to you. But okay, what is the reason why you fell out? Was it minute, or was it so big that where there's to no point of return? So let's figure that out. Okay, well, is it that serious? Nah, it ain't that serious. Because if the person was no longer here, would I feel some type of way, or to where it be, I don't care? If I know I'm going to feel some type of way, I need to make that right. We don't have to be friends after. We don't even have to be kumbaya. But at least we're cordial. Make the effort to try. Again, we all quick to keep the drama going.
Yeah.
I want to really imagine for a second, that if we poured into each other, like we pour into each other with this drama, the violence on social media circulates more than the positivity.
Absolutely.
And even if not even just social media, what about, again, the relationships? You know what? Dang, I ain't speak to so-and-so in 2 weeks. Let me call you. Are you breathing? All right, cool. Let me hang up. But again, when things fall back into people not properly knowing how to communicate, or even trying to, going back to, again, this entanglement situation. Only because, again, I have to revert back to selves.
All day.
We are constantly crippling ourselves, blaming other people.
Yep.
And it's not that. If I have an issue with you, Stacey, I should be able, because again, this is maturity. Stacey don't know that I got an issue with her if I'm talking to Vince about it.
What I do, sis?
You ain't do nothing yet, girl. But that's what I'm saying. Come to your source.
Yes.
Come to your source and let people know, listen, I have an issue. Not that I'm trying to scold you to where you feel punished, but I want you to know that something rubbed me the wrong way, and I could, number one, be taking it wrong.
Right.
Number two, I'm trying to see if that's how you flow. And if that's how you flow, cool. I need to agree to disagree and keep stuff moving.
People scary.
Don't nobody got time for that. Again, what age do you grow up to say, you know what? I'm going to lift you up. See, the music and stuff that we listen to, it really teaches us how to go. I've been listening to Beyonce's Friend song for the past month, and I'm sure that this came out years ago.
What album? I told you I'll be sleeping.
I know. I'm going to have to let you know later because I don't know. But I think it's the last one.
Okay.
But anyway, that song right there resonates so much to what a lot of people need and want in their life. Because it's not about materialistic things. But she tell you, you want to know why we keep winning? You want to know why we keep popping bands and jumping out of bands? Because my friends never let me drown. Instead of you listening to, oh, you ain't get that, or your friend ain't do this. Oh,
for letting me know, because y'all talked about it all day and the memes were hilarious. But I heard that Jada said that Will gave me permission. We're in an open relationship. But you just said, Ciara, that no, that's not what happened. She said he did not give her permission. And I was like, that's progressive, and that's like, that makes sense to say, because if you say a man gave you permission, then you're saying he owns my body. And he allows me to do blah, blah, blah. And that's uncomfortable to say. You should own your own body, you know what I'm saying? So, but I heard they were in an open relationship as well, and I don't know what that means 100%, because I think I know that means we could do whatever we want to do, but why be married? Like, is it a financial contract? What is it?
Mr. Cornelis saying mess around and catch COVID-19, AIDS, HIV, meningitis, and herpes. All of the above. That's exactly what entanglement means.
Throw the shingles in there. That's coming.
Yeah, and the crabs. Put it all in the little stir pot.
Gumbo.
Served fresh.
Right, and then burn your lover.
But yeah, pretty much. A little hot sauce.
A little bit. Just a little bit. A little stain.
Like you said, they were in an open relationship.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Okay.
That's what I heard.
Scratch all that. I don't hear nothing about none of no open, no close, or whatever. Find out what you need in life. If you need penetration, then go out to the store, buy a whole rack. Since y'all be sitting here talking about your people buying out stores and all of that stuff, because that's what you're searching for. That's the void.
There's so many toys.
Correct. So you can have it whichever way that you want to have it. Kind of like, what is it, Burger King? McDonald's, have it your way? Somebody way.
Yeah, have it your way.
If you're seeking and searching for love, companionship, life partnership, go for your goals. Stop being hot in the top. And it's burning up in there. And now you got all these doggone emotional bills, because now you got to go see therapist. Yep, now you have physical bills because you need to go see the doctor to make sure that you didn't catch nothing from whatever you was playing with.
Trust bills, because how do you come back? And what if she's not telling the truth about it? Like she said I was hurt, right? Is that what she said?
She said she was hurt.
What if she was really doing it to hurt him? Because were they together for 4 years?
Flip all that. Flip all that. Again, we got to be accountability for ourselves. I don't care what somebody do to
But you involved in a relationship. And maybe they fell out of love.
Flip all that. Love ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
Okay, so what is it?
Guess what? I'm making the choice to lay down and open my legs with somebody. That's me. That man ain't there.
For 4 years.
For 4 years, 5 years, whatever it may be. And then the disrespect comes from that you out in these public streets on social media, red carpets, taking pictures.
Yes.
So it's again, there's things that's a difference. I respect the game. I do. Even if I ain't in it, I respect it. But it's how you play certain games. Not for nothing. At the end of the day, he knew that she was married. But also, too, she knew she was married.
Most importantly.
So, regardless, I'm getting tired of these married people now. Y'all decided to get freaking married. You said I do to whoever you decided that I do with, which means better or for worse. That's what I was always taught. Right? Better or for worse.
That's what I heard.
So you can leave or you can stay. But make that decision, because the fact that you've already taken that vow, whatever decision you make, whether we fake separated or a non-playing house, I have already vowed something to you, which means that my actions affect you.
Man.
Will Smith on the freaking internet, Instagram now, arguing with 50 Cent and the African comedian guy, Michael, whoever his name.
Yeah.
So now look, this is damaging the other relationships that he now had, because they looking at him like, bro, you let her wild out. It wasn't like she wild out with Joe Smo, because now it's been a long list of people that she done messed around with.
Shut the front door.
None of this would have came out, right?
Yeah.
Had you been keeping them closed, keeping them closed. And if you guys need to have an open relationship, then that means that you two do it together. But the problem is y'all still are missing something.
Man.
Love. Nobody want to really be like, look, it's 8 slices in a pot. I'm missing this one slice. This one slice that I'm missing is companionship. Or I don't like how you talk to me. Or something that you do makes me feel unattracted to you. If I'm woman enough to tell another man what you ain't doing right, I should be woman enough to tell your black tail or whatever tail you
your
are.
Tail. Exactly. Your pink tail.
Your tail. What you ain't doing right.
Man. So,
because it's embarrassing if another man could come up and tell you what you ain't doing for your woman. Why you don't know?
Yeah.
Y'all better stop playing with me.
What you said it hurt people. And she obviously wasn't trained right either, and thought to bring it to the round table.
She said she wasn't trained right because her mama got all of these, again, generational curses.
Generational curses. That's it.
And then it was a lie. See, I listen very well. People be thinking that you're stupid. In the beginning of this little table talk, she said, "Oh, it was years. We didn't speak in years."
This is data.
That's what I heard. Hear me out. But when the Red Table Talk came out in 2018, let's count the years. 19, 20. That's only 2 years, right? He was on one of the first episodes of Red Table Talk.
He was.
So what are we talking about? But again, at the end of the day, it ain't even about their relationship. We, as a people, we're judging other people who got way more money than we do and is on a whole nother situation. Because when more money comes, more problems do come. That's what they say. But before you got the money, are you dealing with how your tail been hurt? Are you still, because people dealing with mommy daddy issues. All right, cool. Now I'm dealing with boyfriend past, girlfriend past issues because they either I got cheated on, or I'm the one that's cheating, or I have all of these issues and problems that I don't feel comfortable telling my spouse. Communicate.
Self-reflection. Stop
all of this what you doing and ask somebody how are you feeling? Like, what's up with you?
And stop giving yourself the okay to do it because great grandma did it and great grandpa did it. Because honestly, if you look at TV shows from the 60s and 70s, grandpa had a whole nother family somewhere else. And that's because there was no condoms. So every time he lay with her, she had a baby. You know what I'm saying? I mean, honestly, Rodney Perry, shout out to Rodney Perry, one of my comic friends, my brother's he is so important. But he had a whole joke about it. Like his grandfather was like, don't play with them girls down the street. Because them girls is your cousins or your aunties or your sisters or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how it was. And it's like, if you don't want that for yourself, do better within yourself. Find out what your issues are, reflect, meditate, you know what I'm saying, and what energy you put out is what you're gonna get back in. Honestly, that's factual.
Mr. Cornelius says he used to live in Hollywood and the rules of engagement are totally different. On top of Will and Jada are two of the best actors in the world. You are absolutely right. For some of you guys who know and don't know, I hang around, or I'm around a lot of different celebrities. So yes, the life is definitely different, and I understand it. But also too, one of the benefits that I feel as though that I have is that I could be at the BET Awards or hanging out at whoever's house, but I'll come right back down to civilian world, if I will, just to get a grounding and an understanding. That's right. So that you're not so far gone. Some of you guys, let me translate this into non-Hollywood terms. Some of you guys get this job. Some of you guys are owners of things, you CEOs, you managers, and the way that you treat people is disgusting. Yeah. And then the fact that once somebody lets you into those doors, are you really pulling people up? No. The normal people, meaning the conscious and logical people that's going to keep you conscious and logical. You don't want that. You know what you want? You want yes men. Yeah. You want yes men and yes women that's going to tell you, yeah, go ahead and do the right thing.
Supposedly that's what killed Michael Jackson. You can get more propofol. You sleepy, you could get, and then he dies because there are nothing but yes people in Hollywood. And you know what? I believe you that you went to you've been around celebrities and hung out, and then you go home and you come back to normalcy, your normalcy, because you live in Texas and everything's bigger in Texas, and you are still slim, girl. So I love it. She ain't blowed up or nothing. You should see look. You should see her. She is just slender, okay, and everything's big
in the streets.
Yes, so you work out,
not like that, because I sit here and I people watch a lot, and I'm going, why are y'all acting like this?
It's a lot of
it is because I wasn't loved. I've spoken to so many people who didn't have a parent or a guardian who actually just didn't give them a hug or show them the love. When you are abused and then you're unable to communicate this abuse or how you feel, you grow up and you start treating people whichever way, or you just have no sense of compassion. You just don't care. You out here just existing instead of trying to be better. Yeah. And that right there is unacceptable. And then we grow up, because our first relationships are within our households, whether it's siblings or whoever. Cool. But then we grow up, we have friends, which we ain't communicating with them, so we always fighting over some nonsense. Then we grow up and we start having boyfriends and girlfriends and whoever. We don't know what they came from. And again, we don't even know if we're dating the entanglement baby.
You don't know.
So you could be doing everything right. You is your spouse, your companion could be doing everything right, but because you were born into some nonsense, you're having demons that they don't even know how to help you through.
Nope.
Again, but you have to be transparent to say, listen, this is what I don't want to do. And as a women, listen, okay? Y'all don't listen to nothing else I say. This is solely speaking to my women. Keep y'all legs closed.
Man.
Seriously.
Don't watch TV. Don't do what they tell you to do. Please don't.
I get it. and I understand loneliness is real.
Oh.
You want somebody to love on you and things like that, but the love is filtered.
Love yourself first.
That's not even the type of love that you actually want.
Right.
Because guess what? That's a slide by in and out night love when your heart is what's missing the void. Mm-hmm. That right there is what the whole issue becomes. Mm-hmm. And that's not okay.
A lot of people look in the mirror and don't see the real them.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't know to see what their issues are. And that's where your bestie comes in. That's where your family comes in to kind of help you notice. Because you're not going to recognize, you're not going to see it, you know. And then you're going to go and attract the person that is toxic for you or who doesn't, I don't know, can't fix that or can't address that because you don't even know it's there to address. You know,
but you also don't respect
so many
people
issues.
either. Do you respect the people that's accountable, that's holding you accountable?
No, you mad at them for trying to make you accountable. You got an attitude, but that's the thing. You know how everybody say, oh, black women, this is what I heard. Black women got attitude. Yes, we do have attitude, but stop being afraid of our attitude and our passion. You know, if you come and tell me, guess what, you don't need this or you shouldn't do that or whatever, you shouldn't be afraid of my reaction. Yeah. Don't be afraid of that. Like, oh, I ain't gonna say, because you know she be getting mad and stuff. Talk to me if you love me. And that's my thing. I talk to whoever I care about. I don't care for everybody. And if you say something that I think is off, like a little off or whatever, I'll be like, well, that's you. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't care about you enough to argue with you. Yep. If I love you, I'm going to argue with you. We're going to go back and
figure
forth.
This out.
Yes.
Because guess what?
I love you.
Besides me loving you, if something was to happen to you, I don't ever want to have to be the fly on the wall. Or I have to call so-and-so and so-and-so to see, hey, is that person okay? Oh, I really want to reach out, but we had a falling out, so I can't do that either.
No.
Mr. Isaac Washington said, hurt people hurt others, and that is correct.
Yeah, I heard that.
But at what point does the hurt person say, you know what? I have to stop this.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Hurt people have kids.
Yeah.
So all of this nurturing that you're doing in your womb, that's coming out hurt.
And
So let's just... hypothetically, let's just use the Smith people again.
The Smiths.
Back in whatever day, everybody used to say that their kids was weird.
Yeah.
Weird and all this other stuff. Well, if we start looking at a timeline, if Will hurt, Jada hurt, the ex-wife hurt, the mama hurt, what's gonna happen with the kids? Mm-hmm. Then you got your son or your daughter talking about she wished Tupac was your father and all this other stuff. I just can't.
Oh, good Lord.
And of course now how do you expect this man not to be in pain when you know how your family feels, but it might not have been directly towards you?
Why did they come on the Red Table Talk for this?
Because Mr. August decided to tell the world, and of course, she could not respond. She had to respond.
She could have did it differently.
No. Because
this is
that
worse.
Was smart on her. Nope, that was smart on her point, and I'm gonna tell you why. Number one, Will and JD are a brand. They are a brand first. Mm-hmm. Why would I let my wife? If I was a man, why would I let my wife go through anything by herself? They ain't never went through nothing by themselves. So why would I let her go through this thing by herself?
They could have went to couples therapy.
They could have.
Yes.
In their
they talked in front of everybody and pressed send right then. It's like now they got the kids. I seen somebody put a meme. I hope it's not real, but Jaden was like, my mom's a hoe.
Oh, well, I don't know.
But I don't know if that's real. It was his little picture. It was like his Twitter or whatever. And I was like,
a lot of people mom's hoes.
But that's people hurting people. Because Jaden is different, yes, because they had the money to afford a different lifestyle for their children, because whatever they felt they was missing in their lifestyle and their upbringing, they wanted to make sure their kids didn't miss that. Which, stop doing that, y'all, because your parents did the best they could. Mm-hmm. You should definitely do better by your kids, but don't give them everything, because you came out okay. Like, you might have some little itches and twitches that's wrong, but that's what you need to address in your own children. Don't give them everything because you feel you had nothing when you really did have a lot. You know, your parents did the best they could. Now look at Jaden and Willow. Like, it's crazy that I don't know if it's real, but my mom's a hoe. How disrespectful is that? You don't never say that about your mom. Even if you feel that, tell your mama a different way. Mom, why is you so open like this? Like, what happened?
Yeah, but see, I have to piggyback on something that you just said in regards to girl, I lost my darn gun.
Oh, damn.
I know. It's crazy. Because it's so much with this same topic. Okay, you mentioned give your kids more. No, stop.
Don't give them more. Don't give them more, but whatever you feel you was missing, that's what I mean. Don't give them everything. And there's people with money that can give their kid
But it's
everything.
not even that, though. It's the broke people, too. This is not a celebrity just conversation. This is the mentality of everybody.
So what you mean?
When people say, oh, I'm going to have kids and I make sure that I give them everything that I didn't have.
Yes. I hear that a lot.
I never heard nobody say, I'm going to give them the love. Quote that. The love that I didn't have. Everything is, I'm going to give them the materialistic things that I did not have. So when you compute this into a celebrity area, yes, these kids, the Smith kids, got everything that they wanted, meaning that the parents never had.
Yeah.
The materialistically,
yeah.
But guess what you're missing? Love. So guess what you trying to do? Willow in a box at an art gallery naked for whatever many months at a time, doing whatever she doing on display.
Oh my gosh.
Shaving her head, doing whatever. You got
your son.
The son boy saying Tyler the Creator, his boyfriend or his daddy or somebody,
his boyfriend.
Something. Again, this is all these distractions and nonsense. And ain't none of them complaining about, I didn't get a puppy, I didn't get a pony. It's not materialistic.
No.
We have to connect together as human forces, take these dang on phones away, take the internet away for a minute.
Talk to your kids.
Talk to your kids, talk to your spouse, and talk to your friends.
Kids. Hug your. You're right. But you know, when some people say they want to give their kids everything they didn't have, it's not necessarily materialistic. I have some friends who felt they got whooped. I should have never got whooped. I'm never gonna whoop my kids, and their kids are awful. Yeah. And it's like you have to figure out a disciplinary action for your kid, because you automatically go back to your childhood. You know what I'm saying? You never grew from that spot where you got beat. Don't beat your kids, but train them up. Your parents did the best they could.
Maybe you should beat your kids. Maybe you should. Acting crazy. Some of y'all need to be beat. That's why you're acting crazy.
I'm for it.
You don't got no Medea. You don't have no real Medea. Just because you a grandmother don't make you a grandmother.
Right.
See, so some of y'all want to be nannies and G-Mom too. Grandmas, but you don't have the structure. Oh, I'm sorry, you have the structure, but you're not willing because you're like, oh, those not my kids. I'm done with it.
They so cute. Nah. You got your mama for that.
Beat them kids.
Whoop them.
But not to you got to call that.
Don't abuse your kids.
Isaac says, the thing is that we have to learn to forgive those that hurt us and learn to release the pain and anger, because it is not. If not, you will all carry the pain and anger into every relationship you get into. No, carrying around unforgiveness and bitterness will eat you up worse than acid. Say that, Isaac. Say that. Let these people know. And I really honestly think, could be wrong. If you have an opinion, great. I'm willing to hear it. But I think it's us. We are doing crabs in a barrel, and it's not necessarily a jealousy thing. It's just that we, for whatever reason, don't know, don't want to, or choosing not to communicate. And that's on a business level. If I got a problem, I should be able to come to you and say to you, listen, I need help. And are you willing to help me? And then if you rock with me, you should be able to say, yes, no problem.
Right.
Because other nationalities are doing it.
All the time.
But us, it's more so like, well, what can I get from you? Well, I'm going to use you till you deplete it. And then I'm going to just leave you in the wind, and I'll find somebody else to do it. So now when you leave me and your brand is building, I'm hurt. So now I may take that same emotion to somebody else who did nothing to me. We have to be accountable to say, you know what, I was a butt-faced that day, or I didn't mean it, or I had a rough day. Let me communicate. Nobody is saying I'm sorry.
No.
Cool, you don't want to say I'm sorry, say I apologize.
Bad energy travels. Obviously, like they say, energy don't die. That gotta be it, because like a lot of people, like you said, if I don't know something, I should be able to go to someone else and ask them how, help me. But people don't even want to say they don't know nothing because I look stupid. Stop thinking about how you look. You know what I'm saying? Let's come together. That community idea, like coming together and lifting each other up. Everybody say black folks need to come together and get their own stuff. We need to leave America and come together. We can't come together because we have too many issues. We're so broken, and we don't want to hear your mouth. Is how you put. I don't want to hear your mouth, or I ain't gonna tell her nothing because she think that. Or I ain't gonna tell him nothing. Well, he think he know it all, so I'm gonna watch him drop a whole brick on his foot. Like, help people, lift each other up, encourage each other. You know, bring them to where you are. You know what I'm saying? If you're up here and they're down there, come meet them where they're at. Yeah, and lift
but nobody
them.
wants to.
Nobody
meet
wants
somebody down. It's
that's so
like,
sad.
well, when you figure it out, then you can come play over here.
Facts.
But see, one thing about me
all day
is that I tell everybody, I'm only gonna ask you a few times before I just say, you know what, we good.
Yeah.
Because I don't need the filter. See, a lot of this stuff is filtered conversations. And also what I've noticed is, again, instead of me addressing you with whatever issue that I possibly may have, I'm calling somebody else to talk about you.
Yeah.
How does that, again, and that's what happened in this entanglement.
Yeah.
Because she was, oh, I'm so broken, or Will didn't do this, or whatever. August could not help the pain that whatever you and Will was going through, because that's not the level. He can't do that. That's just like us being in high school. There is a reason why there is a freshman and a senior. You're supposed to elevate.
Yeah.
And everybody's supposed to elevate with you. Not where it's just like, oh, I'm going to keep rising and everybody else stay back in class. You know, like I said, we're taught to get your own, but get your own doesn't mean you do it by yourself.
By yourself. And you still gonna get your own even if you do it with a community, because what's for you is for you and what's for them is for them. Yep. People are, it's like that in comedy too. Like, I have some cohorts who have elevated, and I ask them, hey, so how do I go about this? They are radio silent. Until you get to that level, then they'll talk to you. Like, oh, you made it. Now I can tell you, let's share. How'd you get here? You know what I'm saying? But other than that, they looking down at you like, she was funny, he was funny. I thought they was going to make it, but they didn't. Too bad. I'm not answering my phone.
And it's very sad.
It is.
And also, too, like I said, people say that they do it by themselves, but you don't.
You never do.
At least one person to believe in what you have going on, to say, okay, let us really collaborate.
Yeah.
But speaking of the word collaborate and network, collaborate and networking is not you do all the work and I jump on the bandwagon after. Right. It is we're both putting our hair up in a scrunchie and we shooting in the gym. Everybody loved that analogy when Kobe was cheating. Was it Kobe cheating? I think it was Kobe cheating because he had to buy the ring or something like that. Yeah, because she was in the gym.
The Canadian girl or something like that.
Shout out to
rest in peace. Everybody's human.
But that is a great statement. Like was made by Rick Ross. You're not shooting with me in the gym. Yeah. So what are we doing? You just want to show up after?
Right.
Nah. You need to go and you need to kick rocks. And if you guys, when we still have to talk to each other, you're going to have to communicate. So there's several different ways to communicate. I know we're getting ready to wrap it up, but I just want to share several different ways to communicate, because again, everybody you cannot speak to, and it's some people's fault, but again, it's some other people were not taught to communicate. Yeah. And it is your job to upgrade everybody that you're supposed to be rocking with.
Communicate, yes.
So, ways to communicate. What you doing? The WID, stop. Pick up the phone, okay? So ask somebody what they're doing, because you might be talking them out of jumping off of a cliff. And they don't have time to text you what you're doing. I saw a very funny comedian one year that's mentioned, and he said, if the house is being robbed, should I send a text? Or should I call?
Right.
Makes sense. So, what is your final thought, Miss Stacey, on this topic today?
I mean, break out your comfort zone and reach out to that person that you haven't talked to. Express yourself. Self-reflect, like I said before. Meditate, breathe, think, and turn off the TV. Get off the internet. Just breathe, man. Do that. You can do it. You will live. Okay?
Okay. And guys, for C's final thought in regards to communicating, if the relationship is important to you and you value it, I suggest you start picking up the phone and staying attached. Agree to learn to disagree and keep elevating each other. Take the time. Scream it out. Get out of entanglements. If you hurt, fix whatever the heck that hurted you. If the people are still alive, write it out. Yes. Send an email. Set up a meeting, because I call meetings if I got issues. Everybody know that. And other than that, I'll see you guys next week on Conscious Conversations. You can always go to the ccwcshow.com. Also, check this out on Edge Radio Network on 101.7 and 1540 AM. I'm out. This is your girl C. I'll talk to you guys later. Start healing yourself. Get out of them entanglements. Keep your legs close.
This is Dr. Gabriel Arango with Arango Chiropractic Clinic, and today I'd like to inform you that doctors of chiropractic are primary contact healthcare providers who provide essential care, including but not limited to managing acute and urgent musculoskeletal condition. These services are critical for managing cases that otherwise could end up in the emergency rooms, worsening an already difficult situation. It is important to note that chiropractic services also keep in place health care providers, first responders, and others who have physically strenuous jobs that support critical infrastructure, such as truck drivers who continue to ensure that America's healthcare and food supplies get to where they are needed during the COVID-19 pandemic. This information was brought to you by Arango Chiropractic Clinic and Edge Radio, 1540 AM and 101.7 FM. Back pain can be very disabling, and when your back pain radiates down your buttocks and legs, it's called sciatica, and it can disrupt most of your activities of daily living, such as work and exercise. Hello, this is Dr. Arango with Arango Chiropractic Clinic to inform you that back pain and sciatica are two completely different things. Low back pain is usually due to strain or injury to the joints, muscles, and ligaments supporting the back, with the pain focused in the